so this is step one of teaching our dog to catch. It's different than a toss. It's not this. That's a toss. It's actually this. Now, Jack's an expert at catching. We've been doing it for a very long time. So he's not the best demo dog for this because I'd rather be showing you with a dog that maybe doesn't know how. But I'll explain to you how to begin. So you want to have a piece of food that's easy for them to see. So this is a piece of kibble. Easy for them to see and kind of weighty. If your kibble's really, really tiny and light, then it may not be as effective. Then what you want to do with your dog, and every dog learns differently. So you're going to have to experiment with different ways to find a success. Some dogs pick this up really, really quick. Other dogs, it takes quite a bit of time, but it is a team effort. So it does matter how you drop the food. And so watching and observing as you do this will be really beneficial for both you and your dog. So I often start with actually just holding the food over their mouth and just letting them drop it in. And you want to get that head tilt, or not the tilt, but you want to get that his jaw lifting upward. You want to get that. Sometimes dogs just kind of look up. You want to see if you can get their head to tip up. Because the idea is that they catch it in a straight drop. So doing something like that is totally fine to start with, where you're literally just kind of dropping it in their open mouth. Good boy. Now he takes food very gently, but we've worked on that. He didn't always. He used to take food really eagerly, let's say. So if your dog does grab at food, if your dog goes to grab at the food when you're dangling it, try to drop it a little bit over their mouth before they touch your hand. As I say, this is going to be each dog is different. I don't know if you can see that, where I'm just dropping it kind of in his open mouth. If your dog is jumping for it, then what you can do, that's an impulse control thing, and we're going to be working on that in class together. But in the meantime, if your dog is jumping for it, if they go to jump, just pull the food away. You don't need to say anything. Wait for them to settle, and then set the food right back over their nose again and drop. Okay? So those are some of the things to think about when you're just getting started with dropping food. So again, he's not the best demo dog because he's so good at it, but essentially once you get him, so that's me doing basic, just dropping it into the dog's open mouth. And I do this a lot with clients. And what you can do is, in his case, he doesn't need the celebration because again, he's so good at this. But if your dog is just learning and it's the beginning stages, if you drop a piece in their mouth, yay, you can do that, and you'll likely see their little tail wag and stuff. Yay! Oops, sorry, that was stuck to my finger. That'll happen occasionally. You can go find it right there, bub. Right there. Right there. Yep, good boy. So what that means when, come on around here, bud. What that means when, here, bud. There, just trying to get on position for you guys. What that means is, yay! That kind of thing. They go, oh, I did something. That's what you're looking for. That it's like a marker in a sense. You're showing enthusiasm. If they drop it, you don't have to do anything. I mean, it's not bad. It's just, this is part of the games. It's just a process. So, yay! That kind of thing. You can do that with your pup or your adult dog. So once they get to a point where you're placing it in their open mouth, you can start dropping it. Now again, he's really good at this. So you can start dropping it from a couple of inches. He's also got really good impulse control, which I don't know if you noticed, like when he snaps like that, he doesn't really go for it. Again, we can work on that with your dog if that's a challenge. And then you're just dropping it at a certain height. Notice how, again, we've been working on it together for a very long time. I'm very precise at where I put it. I don't really have to be anymore with Jack, but when you're learning with your dog, it does matter where you line it up. It also matters when they're first learning. You can see that I'm moving it further away. It also matters when they're learning that you don't hang it there for too long, because that creates a bit of a frustration, and that's what might cause them to kind of want to jump for it. So So definitely play with getting some focus, and if you have to just drop it to prevent what you think is maybe an oncoming jump up for it, just go ahead and drop it. If they don't catch it, they don't catch it. What ends up happening with this game when they're not as good a catcher as Jack, and he wasn't as good as he is now when he first started, what often happens with this game is that the dog will miss a lot at first. That's totally natural. So if they miss, and I'm going to make them miss on purpose. Okay, no, I'm not. There, I made them miss on purpose. Just let them get it off the ground. That's totally fine. So essentially, that's all you're going to be doing is practicing teaching your dog to catch. Play with distance, closer to their mouth, further away from their mouth. Play with what it is you're dropping. So if they're not really successful with maybe if their kibble is smaller, or maybe they're just having a hard time seeing it for whatever the reason, use something bigger at first. And if it bounces off their nose, because you kind of want to aim right for that spot, right there, like right there. You want to aim for that little opening of their mouth. And if it bounces off of there, what ends up happening as they practice this from a drop is you'll start noticing them go, like they're trying to catch it out of the air. And that's what we want. So when they do that little, you can, yay, even if they miss, it's okay. Sometimes it bounces off their muzzle. So give it a try, have fun with it. Don't overthink it. Just grab a handful, 10 pieces a few times a day, maybe three times a day, and just drop food. Drop food, play with distance, as I say. That one bounced off his little nose. And that's it. That's the beginning stages, and we'll build on it. All right. Have fun. Enjoy.